Hi, Stitchy friends. Welcome to Crossmystitches. My name is Jackie, and this is episode 125. Today is Friday, the 19th of September. Ooh, that took a minute. 2025. And I am here with a new update on my stitching. So this is a channel about cross stitch. Sometimes I show some other things that may be quilting and punch needle or other needlework type things, mostly just cross stitch. And I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me today. It has been a while. It's probably been a month since I've done a regular update. And hopefully this won't take forever, but I have a feeling this is going to be a long one because I have a lot of FFOs, fully finished objects. And yeah, they're covering my desk right now, so it's a lot. It's a lot. And most of them are smalls, but I do have some framed pictures and another finish to show that I'm really excited about. So we're going to talk about FFOs. We're going to talk about, and I'm looking at my notes because if I don't write it down, I'm not going to remember it. We're going to talk about FOs because I have two. Well, actually, those are FFOs now, so I have to change that because I just finished those before we started. I have whips. I have new starts. I have some stitching acquisitions. I have some information about shopping for frames and stuff if you want to finish your own stuff. We've got the giveaway, which I have to announce the winners for that. I have some Flosstubers I want to mention, and then at the end we'll get to the personal stuff. And you don't want to hang around for that, you don't have to. So let's get started. I went on a finishing binge for a couple of days. Usually it takes me quite a while to get into the mood to do some finishing. And I might get one or two items done, and then I kind of get a little frustrated because I'm going back and forth figuring out fabrics and colors and if it's going to be a soft finish, a pillow, or whatever it's going to be. But this time I just pulled it all out. I pulled everything out and I finished. I still have some things. I still have some things to finish, but I finished a lot of items, including pillows, strawberries, another soft finish, ornaments, and 1, 2, 3 framed. So there's a lot. There is a lot. I have been stitching as much as I can. I am part of the magazine monthly challenge group, so I am doing Baringo this month. And I chose one item to do the entire month, and I had it got it matched up to all the prompts. So I'll be showing you that whip, and boy, have I made a lot of progress on that. And I'm still about 3 days behind on Baringo because some other things personal have been going on, and I'll talk about that at the end. But I want to show you what I've got here. So the first thing I want to, and I'm going to move over just slightly because I want to show pictures too. I'm going to try to post them here. I'm going to show you a picture of my Halloween tree, and I'm going to post it here. I purchased this Halloween tree probably 2 years ago at our Peddler's Mall in town. I've talked about this vendor before, that every time she comes and she fills her booth, I just love going by there. I will always find something to buy, always. And so I always head for her booth first and want to see, what does she put out this week? What do I got? Well, this tree was one of the things 2 Halloweens ago that she put out. And her prices are just amazing, amazing. $6.99 for the tree. So immediately I'm like, I need that tree. I want that Halloween tree. So this is what it looked like, all filled right now. A lot of new things on the tree, and I've got some of them here we're going to talk about. In fact, I took almost everything off the tree to share with you because I did a fall finishing video, the last video. If you haven't seen that, go back one video and you'll see the fall finishing parade. And so I figured I might as well do the tree as well and talk to you about all the different ornaments and what I did and who they're by. So let's get started. So I do have, besides well, let's do the Halloween tree first and then I'll do the other ones. So some of these you might have seen in the um, fall parade there, but I'm going to talk about them again anyway. And the first three are Satsuma Street. They're from Boutique. This is the first one. It is the pumpkin. And these are all done on Mill Hill. And they're like Mill Hill, but I did PDF versions instead of the kits. I talk about that in one of my videos when there's a beading video, and you can see that. So that's the pumpkin one. And then you see the kitty cat. And these all have two colorways. I might do both colorways. We'll see. This one is the owl, which I did in the white. And again, you can see all those in a video 2 videos ago. I did a let's do some beading video to talk about beading on mill hills and stuff, because I feel like a lot of people feel like they don't want to get involved in beading or they don't want to do it because they don't think it's fun. I love it. I love it. And they're great to take in a car to travel. Not so much to do the beading, mind you, but to do the stitching. Get all the stitching done. Those holes are nice and big on that 14 count paper. It does not tear if you make sure that you get Mill Hill paper. Don't buy the cheap paper. Make sure it's Mill Hill brand. So I did those 3. I'm going to show you a punch needle I did a couple years ago, and that's a ghost. And that was just a picture that I gotten off the internet, and it was probably a coloring book, and I just used it to do this ghost. And I do have several other punch needle little ornaments that I need to do. I haven't done them, but I may have to get my punch needle out and start working on those. So that's that one. This one here was and I have tried to find where they came from so I can be a little more informative. This one here, which is called Night Owl, is a Prairie Schooler. So, and I turned it into this little ornament, and it's got felt on the back. And this came from the Just Cross Stitch September-October 2008 issue. So just adorable. The next one, we're going to lay that there. Let's see, do I have any of the other ones here for the? No, okay. So the next one, this one here is by Witchy Stitcher, the Witchy Stitcher, and it says, this is Boo Sheet, which is just absolutely adorable. I did this one on plastic canvas, and you can see it's kind of got this greenish tint to it. So this was a clear plastic canvas, and I took ink, so an ink pad. So I do other crafts, and it's a dye-based ink pad, and I rubbed it across it. And I gave it a little grungy green tint to it. And then it's got the felt backing. It's self-stick felt. Get a Hobby Lobby. But I thought that was so funny. When I did it, everybody just laughed. This is Boo Sheet. So that's the Witchy Stitcher. You can get that from her. This one here, I talked about it before that years and years ago, before really the internet really got on a roll, we would connect with people and do round robins. And I did a couple of calendar round robins. And this one here, which is this little kitty with a pumpkin, this was one of the round robins I did many years ago in the late 80s, early 90s. And this particular round robin was never finished. So it never made it everywhere that it needed to do. So I ended up cutting it up and using it to make little ornaments. And I have 3 little ornaments. I have them here somewhere. I'll get them. And this is the October one. So it was an October one with Kitty. And again, I just put some ribbon on it. I backed it in the self-stick felt. And now it hangs on my Halloween tree. The other 2, let me see, where'd they go? Oh, they're over here. So these are the other 2. One was the July month, so it was a patriotic. So there it is there. I couldn't see just leaving them in the box. What was the point? So I cut them up and did what I wanted to do with them. So again, the wool, it's got the felt on the back, the self stick, and it's a flag. And then the last one is a snowman. So same thing, wool, the sticky felt on the back, and the snowman. So just adorable. I absolutely love these. And I've got a couple more to show. Somebody is texting me. I'm wondering if it's my husband. No. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Talk about that later. This one here is by Doreen Jones, and I absolutely loved making this one. This was Spooky Cat, Halloween Cat. I can't remember. Look at the little spider on the top of his head. Is that not the cutest thing? And I love the turquoise that she used on it. There's the back with the, whoops, come here, spin around. The back with the pumpkins, and again in the turquoise. So I had to hang some turquoise beads on the bottom of it. And it's beaded, the handle is beaded here, and it's all one piece of fabric that is folded and sewn. So, and it's got the seams here, which just looks like lines, but those are the actual seams of the pillow or the little ornament. This here I have not seen on Doreen Jones' Etsy store. You certainly can reach out to her and ask her about it. That's where I had bought it years ago, was on her Etsy store. And if enough people are interested in it, I'm sure she would post it right back again. It is absolutely adorable. I love it. If she would do more like this, pillows like this, I would do more. I should probably contact her and see if she has any more pillows that are constructed like this, because I really love it. Okay, the next two are punch needle items, and they're not mine. They belonged to Sandra, who was the owner of the Finishing Touch in Kentucky. She had a cross-stitch store in, I want to say it's right outside of Louisville. And so I ended up getting these two pieces because a vendor that was purchasing some of her stuff after she passed from her family members, and she brought them down here to Somerset, and I found these two. And I didn't know at the time that I picked them up that they were Sandra's, but I noticed she was bringing some cross-stitch stuff and other things, and I asked her if she knew who they were and where they belonged. And that's when she told me that they were part of Sandra's estate. So this is the first punch needle, and it's just a little pumpkin. She put wool around it, and the back is just the green. And then this is the second one, which is a witch's hat. And so I'm so glad to have these and hang these on my tree. That's the black on the back. So it just reminds me of a cross stitcher that loved her craft. She owned her own shop, and then I got a part of it. The last ones I'm going to show you that are ornaments are part of the series that I've been working on in this month. When September 1st hit, I went nuts. I started pulling out all the fall things, all the fall patterns that I wanted to do, and I was just starting stuff like crazy. I can tell you right now that I am up to 37 whips. 37. So I started at least 7 whips in the month of September. It always happens at fall time. I seem to, when I realize that fall is coming, and it is one of my favorite times of the year, that I need to be stitching all the things because I want to put them all out. So this is, let's see, where is this? This is here. This is Heads Up. It is, I do have the book here. Oh, let go, let go, let go. Okay. So Prairie Schooler, Heads Up. And they're just little ornaments stuff. I mean, just adorable. And of course, I have completed 3. I'm working on my 4th one now. And so I did the pumpkin. And these are all stitched on, I believe, 28 count. Where is it? I don't see it. I think it's 28 count. It's called Bayou, like the New Orleans Bayou. And it is by Live and Die, Live and Die LA. I think she stopped dying, but it's a 28 count. So there is the scarecrow. And then, of course, I had to do the little devil. There he is there. They all have the self-stick felt on the back, little hangers. And the little witch, I want you to look at the little witch in the picture right here. She's right in the middle in the top there. You can see what she looks like. I had to change her. I did not want my witch to have an orange face. So, of course, my witch has a green face. And I changed her face. So there she is right there. So my witch is green. And I will tell you, she's the first one I did. And I made a mistake in it. And you would never be able to tell what it was. So, but I love her as green. So those are my ornaments that are hanging on the Halloween tree that you saw. Okay, so now on to other things that I have finished. So I do have some other ornaments. We're going to talk about those real quick, because I said we'd talk about those because I just finished them. And these are little mittens. So they look like this. These are from, this one is not, but the ones I'm showing are from the Cricket Collection. Cricket Collection has a whole series of mittens. They are, this is one of the leaflets. This is just one. And you can see there's little mittens, and they are all throughout their pattern books. They have several that are specifically mittens through them. There must be maybe 8 different booklets that are just mittens, but they have all sorts of other patterns, and then they'll have a bonus, which sometimes is pictured up here in this little spot, and it'll have a mitten. There are tons of them. I love stitching them. They're very small, they're cute, and like this is, you just saw this one, you'll see there is the snowman right there. This one here is the snowman. So I did him first. So as I was doing my finishing, and this is when I was just starting to pull all my stuff up and do finishing. And as you can see, they are actual mittens. So they open up, there's a mitten. And this one I had a little accident with, and I decided I wasn't going to fix it. This was supposed to have a red plaid backing to it. As you can see, it has white. And that is because this particular thing, this is the interfacing. This particular interfacing is a cotton interfacing. So, and so I sewed it on. I put the 2 pieces together, not paying attention to put face to face. And the red ended up on the inside. You can't see it, but it's in there. And so when I did it and I turned it right side out, I was heartbroken because I'm like, oh, I did that backwards. I'm going to have to pull it all out. Well, I decided, the heck with it. I'm not pulling it all out. You can't tell. It just looks like a white backing. So I left it. But I love these little mitts. I've done several of them. I plan to keep on doing them because they are so adorable. And that's the snowman. The next one out of a different book, this one is called Snow Bunny. And again, it is a mitten. It opens up. It's got a hanger. And that's what it looks like. So cute. They're all just adorable, easy to stitch. A little tedious to sew together because you have to sew all the way around them in order to make them into a mitten. But otherwise, and there's the fabric on the back, otherwise just adorable. I love them. I love doing them. So that is Snow Bunny. And this last one I held up. This one is called Mrs. Claus. And this is by Living on the Rainbow. And I believe that was a freebie on her site. So there's a Mrs. Claus, a Mr. Claus, and different ones. And this is the only one that I got stitched was the Mrs. Claus. And they are just so stinking cute. So those will go on my Christmas tree. And this is, it is a freebie pattern. There, you can see it's right there. So go to Living on the Rainbow, and she's got living and then a dash after every word, and it's all one. Living on the rainbow.blogspot.com. And that's where you will find them. And they are from 2018, so you may have to go back on her freebies to look at them. The next thing I made was pillows. So let's talk about the pillows. This first one is a Doreen Jones. If you go onto her Facebook page, not her group, Facebook page, look up Doreen Jones. On there, she posts a ton of freebies. A ton. So you're going to go onto her page, go under where it says pictures, and then start looking. I don't know how far down these are. It might be a couple of years worth, but this one is called Rose 3. And there was 3 of them, and they have beads on them as well as stitching. So the stitching is in the center of the pillow, and this is how I finished it. So it is adorable. I love the fabric that's stitched around. You can see there's ribbon going all the way around it. And then I have this ribbon that I found that has it's like chenille, and then it's got ribbon running through it. Can you see that? And I've had it for years, and I'm like, this is the perfect pillow for that. So there it is. There's the back, and just an adorable pillow that I will put out for spring and summer. I have not stitched the other 2. I'm going to have to go back and look for them because I don't know. I don't think I have them. I haven't seen them in any of my PDFs. So, because I'll save them as a PDF and then I'll use them to stitch. So that's the first pillow. The second pillow is by Brittercup. So Michelle Lash, Brittercup Designs. This is from the 2008 ornament issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. It is called Christmas Centerpiece. And this is what it looks like. And I've had this stitched up since I think 2022. I should have been telling you that. I have all that information here. Some of these are from 20, some are from 2022. This is from 2022 is when I stitched it. So it's taken me 3 years to get this finished. And I put a ribbon along the bottom here to make it kind of look like a shelf that it was sitting on. I've got Christmassy fabric on the back, and then a thin trim running all the way around it. Whoops. So, and it's stuffed nice and firm. I like my pillows to be firm. And there it is. I love this piece. It was an easy stitch. There's not that much there to it. It's really pretty. My last pillow is from, and I didn't bring the book. I'll post a picture here if I can locate it. I'm sure I can. I got to find the book. So I'll post a picture here. It is from Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage. I stitched this in 2022. This was, and I guess I could have said what these fabrics and stuff were. So this piece, as small as it is, was stitched on 28 count. So you can see they're very small. The centerpiece one is stitched on a white linen. I don't know what size that was. This one here is 36 count Winter Moon, and this was the one of the long ones that you have, Hive Rules. It has all the rules on it. I broke it up into pillows, and when the next spring comes, I'll be glad to share, when I pull them back out again, share all the pillows and show you. But this one was towards the bottom, and it's always humble and kind, and there it is. Whoops. Oh, throw it. They're firm, so they slip out of my hands. Let's try doing it this way. So there it is. And I did them all in a little section. It has some gold trim on it. There's the back, which is the honeycomb. And I love these pillows. So I think this is like my 5th one. I might have one more after this saying to do. I haven't done yet. But they sit in my dough bowl for the spring and summer. And that is my 3rd pillow. After the pillows, we have strawberries. So I had gotten into doing Erica Michaels strawberries. And I bought all the seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. The only ones that I've gotten stitched from her seasonal ones, I got 2 summer ones done. I know probably 2 or 3 years ago, I can see her name, L&D. that she was doing a stitch along for each season, and you would do the 3 in each season. Well, I did this 2 of the summer ones, and then I kind of fell out of it. Something else caught my eye, and that was that. So I've got 2 of them finished. This one here is the summer. This one's called Good Old Summer, and it is stitched on 36 count white linen. And I stitched it, I was 2022, and this is the summer berry. So all of my berries have crushed walnut shells in the bottom, and then they're packed in with the fiber polyfill, and then finished at the top. This one here has a double purple, you can see it, top on it, and then this beautiful yellow ribbon with little tails, and a very top, it's got a button, but there it is there. Summer. It just says a good old summer with some waves and a starfish. So that's the first one. And like I said, they're very heavy. That's the way I like them. I like them to be heavy so that they'll sit properly. That's the first one. And I have a little thing here. I'm going to start putting these down. I put a little basket down here so I can empty off my desk. So that's that one. The second one, I actually have 3 strawberries here. The second one is called S'mores Summer, Please. This is part of out of the summer one as well. And this one here was stitched on a 32 Fabrics by Stephanie, and it's a 32 Lugana, and it's called Jealous, but with the G, G-E-I-L-L-I-S. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's Jealous. And this is the strawberry. So there you can see the stitching there. Backing. It's got, I decided to go with the red, white, and blue theme since it was the camper was red, white, and blue. I figured summer, red, white, and blue. That's what I wanted to do. And I put a ribbon across it. I've got a button up there, and I've got a couple of pins sticking out of the top. So that is it. Put it up close so you guys can see it. And it goes, you can see it's got trees and the moon there, and it wraps around. And that is it. That's what it looks like. And I should cut these. I'm going to fix that. I should have dovetailed them or something, or cut them at an angle. I'll have to fix that. I may have to cut them a little shorter too. We'll see. But that is berry number 2. Again, it is firm. I stuffed them firm. These tops on here, I'm fortunate enough to have a die cutting machine. So I have a Sizzix die cutting machine, and I have dies. So that's how I cut my toppers. You can see the star on the very top. That is a die. I have these 2 are circle dies, so that's how that got cut. The other one, these 2 here, you can see they're scalloped because I have flour. That's actually a flour die that I could cut the wool or the wool felt out of. So that's how I cut those. So I'm fortunate enough that that's how I get mine done. The last one, this one is super cute. Okay, so this is one that was called, I think it was called Hello Sunshine. I'm not positive. I don't have it anymore. I think I gave it away. But what I topped it with, I just absolutely love. So this is what it looks like. And this used to have You Are My Sunshine on the seam. I did not put that on there. But this is what it looks like. There it is. And you can see this is crocheted, and that was, and I'm going to flip it up. That was, see the bee on the top? This was a ponytail holder that somebody crocheted, and I got it at one of the peddlers malls. And I thought, oh, that's going to make an adorable topper for some strawberry. And that's what I did. I made it into the topper for it, so it looks like a sunflower. And then I topped it with a brown. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a deep brown. Then it's got little black specks on it for the seeds. And then it has this beautiful, shiny bumblebee that was a charm type. It's a large charm. And I just stuck it right on the top. I think that came out adorable. I absolutely love it. And I can't wait to put that out again in spring and summer in my dough bowl. And there it is. And that was stitched on a cream even weave. I believe it was a 28 or a 32 cream even weave. So that's my last strawberry. They are so fun to do. There are easy stitches. The hardest part to them is just sewing up the one seam. The rest of it is stuffing them, tighten it down really tight, and then putting the toppers on them. So they are not that difficult to do. There are tutorials out there if you have not tried doing the strawberries. They are so fun. So don't be afraid to try something new and try the strawberries. Okay, so my next thing is I have one more soft finish, and this is from, did I write it down? Hold on. Uh-oh, did I not write this down? There it is. It's stitched on 28 count linen. It is from, oh, sorry, hold on just a minute, please. Sorry, that was my husband. I'm going to post a picture here of this, and it's called Gather Harvest. And it's from an older magazine, and I'll put that up here as well because I didn't write it on my notes. But this is my finish of that item. So isn't that adorable? Look at that. So there's the stitching. And it says, oh, it's got lint on it. Gather a harvest with great measure. I love how this turned out. I added all this wool is from my stash. So, and as you can see, there's got some leaves, and on the top, it's got an acorn that was stitched with a perforated paper, and it goes on the top. And it's supposed to have a wire hanger. I don't have a wire, so I'm going to have to pick up a wire, and I'll add that afterwards. But there it is. That is so adorable. I think that would be fabulous hung on a door handle or hung on a vase. Something, I'll figure it out, but I just love it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And just amazed at how well it turned out. So that is that one. And then this one is from Work Basket. I believe this was a freebie and is called Quaker Acorn. So it's a freebie. And if you go to the Work Basket website, you will see it there. And this is my finish. So that fabric, do I have that written down what that was? No, I don't. I stitched it in 2023. I believe that is Claire, 32 count Claire, hand dyed by Stephanie. I'm almost sure that's what that is. I was fortunate enough to find some paint that matched that center motif there, and that's the color I painted the frame. It's a 6x6 frame. I'll just put it in an easel. And it's been sitting since 2020 waiting for me to finish it. So that is now finished. That's a lot so far. Okay, let's keep going. I've got 3 more. 1 medium finish, 2 big finishes. The first one is Hummingbird by Sam X Stitch. Now you see me stitching on this in the last couple months, and I decided not to put the leaves and the stems in. The reason I did that is because I had talked about it last time that I was thinking about putting them in, because this is on a 32 count, I think, 32 count even weave. I thought about doing all the leaves and the stems and stitching 1/2 instead of 2/2 and make them a little less prominent so it looked like it was part of the background. And I stitched some of the leaves and they were coming out great. But when it came to all the stems, when I was working on the stems and doing them just 1/2, they just stood out so horribly, is what I'm going to say, that I didn't like it. So I pulled it all out and I just stitched the hummingbird. I put it in an oval frame, and this is what it looks like. And there she is. Isn't she beautiful? Now the fabric is a 32 count even weave that I hand dyed myself. And I absolutely love this. I think she's just gorgeous. The designer, which was Sam, I think it's Sam X Stitch on Etsy. This is his pattern, and or her. Sam might be a girl, I don't know. Anyway, this is what it looks like. It is just gorgeous. I love it. And I'm not sure about the brown. This is the original color of this frame. And I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it like that or I'm going to try to paint it. What do you think? You think it looks fine? There is a little bit of brown right here in the hummingbird. And I am not sure if I want to leave it that color or not. If you want to give me your opinion on what color you think I should paint the frame, if I should paint it, what color, that would be great. So there's that one. And two big ones. The first one is Bloom Wildly. This was from Little Dove Designs. She is on Etsy, I believe. And I stitched this year, 2025, and now I've got it framed and I'm thrilled to pieces. And it's a big one, so I'm going to move myself just a little. It is on a white, it was on a black, well, this is a black frame that I painted white. So there it is. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oh, I'm in love. I absolutely love it. There she is there up close. But this is definitely in the back. You'd see that this is a black frame, but it is a white frame now. So any frame you get, you can paint it any color you want. Not hard to do, especially with spray paints nowadays. So there it is. So I'm so glad to have that done. This is probably going to hang in my craft room with me. And then my last one that is a finish is going to be, and I'll take this out of this sleeve so it's not so glary. It is Sleepy Hollow by the Cricket Collection. It is fully finished and I am excited. Let me grab it, spin it around so you guys can see it. This is a 3-piece design. I know this is called something. I can't think, trifold, maybe trifold, but I think it's called something else. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to stand up because I got to stand up to show this. There it is. So that's what it looks like. So I'm going to go like this so you guys can see. There it is. And it folds out and then folds in. It's supposed to fold in just slightly on each side so it can stand on its own. And there you see Ichabod Crane running from the Headless Horseman over to the church. Is that not fabulous? It has cording running all the way down, all the way across. And in the back, I have just a black fabric there on the back of it. But it is I'm just amazed at how beautiful it is and how much I love it. And that was my big finishing. So I hope you enjoyed all that finishing. I know I did. I don't know where I'm going to lay this because, again, it's huge and I don't want to lay it on top of my whip. Hold on, let me move my whip. Put this back up there. Do a little shuffling so that I don't have to worry about it getting damaged. There, I think that's okay. I hope that's okay. Let's see. Get up there. Okay, I think that's okay. Hopefully. Okay, so that was all my finishes. That's a lot of finishing. That was definitely a lot of finishing. I am glad to have it all done. I am going to take a short break because I have to get my whips because they're not even on my table right now. So we're going to move all this stuff and get my whips, and I will be back with you in just a blink of an eye. So hold on.